In this video, we are going to be analysing Novavax, ticker NVAX, because it was requested in the comments. If you want your own stock analysed, throw that in the comments. We'll get around to it when we can. Now, to get straight into it, we're just going to go straight onto the standard deviation channel charts. On the left, we have a 6-month chart. On the right, we have a 1 year. What are the key things I would be paying attention to? So currently, we're sitting at $7.20. And one thing actually I do want to note before we go into the levels is obviously very clearly on the 6-month and the 1 year chart, you can see they're both obviously downtrending. Now, whenever I see this, I do take this into account when trying to do these analysis levels, because it means I'm always going to hold more weight on the opposite. So if we're downtrending, I'm paying more attention to the resistances, and the reason for that is I personally trade as a reversal trader. So coming into these resistances, that's really where I would look to play the reversal back to the downside. So on Novavax, again, both downtrending, so I'm paying more attention to these resistances. Again, if you only like trading long bias, you can still use these levels in a different way. We'll go through that in a second. But again, just wanted to point that out. So we're currently sitting around 7.20. Our closest resistance from here is $10.25. Now, we can see and our closest support is at $3.25. Now, what this basically means on Novavax is this support isn't even a deviation level. This is what we consider fair value. This is statistical mean. So this is usually a target. I will tend to trade to these levels, but I won't trade off of them. So really, this isn't a support. And considering our other actual support, so our first deviations are negative, I don't actually have any buy areas to the downside to be buying Novavax. To me, if I don't have any buy levels, it usually means it's not a great investment, so not something I want to be holding long bias anyway. So to me, not really any supports. So my main focus then goes to the resistances, which we already pointed out, 10.25. This is our first deviation on the 6-month. And really, we kind of already hit this actually on earnings. You can see we hit this level, we pulled back instantly. So that's how we usually use these levels. The first time we come into them, we expect to pull back. So we usually show them short bias, play that pullback, we move our stop to break even, we lock in some profits just in case it tries to retest. But in this case, we can see we're kind of just getting quite a steady pullback. And again, locking in profits along the way. We would have already been up about 30% on that trade. Now, if we come back to retest this, again, when you tend to retest a level, you're a lot more likely to break it. So if we do break it, our next resistance is going to be at $14.50. So again, the first time we come into that, we're really looking to play that reversal trade. Now, again, if you're a long bias only trader or you're just more bullish on the stock, you don't want to trade it short, the way I would use this resistance level is as a support. So if we come back to retest it, we need to wait for the break above it, come back to test it as a support. And if the 10.25 can hold, then, more like than not, we will break through that next deviation. So potentially playing that as a support and playing that long bias to our next deviation. So there's a pretty good amount of upside. And again, you can probably have a relatively tight stop on something like that. Having a stop below probably $10. If we start to break below that level support is probably going to fail and we'll just crack down further. So those would be the two kind of key levels I'm paying attention to. If we continue to break to the upside, we have $17.30, $24.30, and $31/$32 as further up resistances. Now, obviously, we do have more resistances, and that's just because Novavax has gone from about $75 down to $5. So the stock is extremely volatile. It has an extremely wide range, so it just makes the deviations very wide. So to me, my main focus is probably between this $10 level and the $17. Obviously, we're still at $17. So to get to that $14 is still a 100% increase from where we are now. So again, probably won't happen all that soon. But if it is, again, we like to be prepared. But my main focus would just be on this 10.25. If we kind of come back to this again, seeing how it reacts to this level, if we start to pull back, play the pullback. If we just break straight through, I'd be waiting for a pullback as a support. If it holds, direction to 14.50 would be my main focus. Again, if we continue down, not really looking at the stock at all, how I'm personally paying attention to it is having an alert basically around this 9.40 and then paying attention once it actually hits kind of that 10.25. Before that, this stock is irrelevant to me, not something I'm personally touching at all. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown. If you did, why not drop a like and subscribe like we said again. If you want your own stock analysed, throw that in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, why not check out this analysis video.